Good morning. I'd like to welcome you and thank you for coming to this dedication of Alyssa Taff Sweet Hollow Park. And she was insistent that that be the name. We're happy that she is included. I'm Councilman Mark Cuthbertson. I'm here with my colleagues, Supervisor Lupinacci, Councilwoman Sergel, Councilman Cook, and Councilman Ed Smith to officially name this park after one of our great civic leaders, Alyssa Sue Taff. I was honored, along with my colleagues, to present a resolution renaming this park at the August 6th Town Board meeting. And if you look around you here, you see different groups represented, and you get a full picture of Alyssa's impact on our community. We are all very saddened by her passing, and we were hopeful that she would be here on this day. But fate was not in our favor when it comes to that. But we're certainly delighted that her family is here. And I am not going to make remarks later. I just want to offer a quick word. Alyssa was, if nothing else, honest. She was hardworking and dedicated, and this park is a testament to a very, very special event where civic leaders, religious leaders, town leaders came together, including former Supervisor Patron, to really almost pull off a miracle and come up with a swap of property. And it really is a testament to that effort and Alyssa's effort, along with the supervisor and the BAPS community. But that's not the total picture. And if I were here and not being honest, I know Alyssa would be looking on from the great beyond and wouldn't be happy with me. There were plenty of contentious times. There were plenty of times where she was upset with us. She's still upset with us to this day about the berm that's here, but that's a topic for another time. But, there was always the honesty. And I said at the town board meeting when we offered this resolution that I know for a fact that there were election cycles where she told people, do not vote for Mark Cuthbertson. He's not with us enough of the time. And that was fine because we had an honest relationship. And that this is a testament to that honesty, because if you stick together, you can make things happen. I want to bring up for the presentation of the colors the Melville Fire Department, and also present for the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem, Alexandra Perticone.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I have the pleasure of introducing some of our dignitaries, of course, starting with our town supervisor, Chad Lupinacci. We also have with us Councilman Gene Cook, Councilman Ed Smith, Town Clerk Joanne Rea, Town Clerk Jillian Guthman, Highway Superintendent Kevin O'Reilly. For State Senator Jim Gorin, we have Bob Lopez, Assemblyman Andrew Rea, Assemblyman Steve Stern, County Legislator Doc Spencer, County Legislator Tom Donnelly, and former Huntington Town Supervisor Frank Patron. Our dignitaries do have proclamations for this day, and we'll be presenting them as well. From the Half Hollow Hills School District, we have Dr. Patrick Harrigan, Karen Littell, Principal, Sunquam Elementary School. We have Moira Haltigan, Assistant Principal. We have from the Half Hollow Hills School Board, David Caston, Diana Akampura, and President Eric Geringswald. From the Millville Fire Department, we have Chief Kaplan and his color guard. From the Association of Sweet Hollow, we have Johanna Suchow. From the BAPS, we have Girish Patel. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to acknowledge the members of Alyssa's family. First, her husband Ross, her daughter Tara Levy, her husband Jake, and their remarkably adorable son Atlas. And I now introduce the supervisor, Chad Lupinacci.
Thank you, Councilman Cuplerson and Councilwoman Sergel, for helping with the dedication today of Sweet Hollow Park. And I've known Alyssa Sue for over about 20 years, and we both served on school boards together. I was over on the South Huntington School Board, and she was over on the Half Hollow Hills School Board. So as my career grew, Alyssa was always there to help and give her advice and guidance. And as you know, she was never shy and letting her know your opinion and what she thought on various topics. So it was great to see her at the school board level. And then I moved on to the State Assembly, and we had many meetings together. I remember Assemblyman Ray and I meeting with her a lot over the airport expansion during that time. And the meeting was over at the Melville Fire Department and really working along with the community. And that's what you can really tell today is a testament of the people that are here today, from the Melville Fire Department to the Library District to the school district to the town and local officials, and to show you the people that she inspired. Now, even though I met with Alyssa many a times, was never in my office in the State Assembly or was never at Town Hall. It was either in this park when I became supervisor, and as we walked every corner of the park and looked at every piece of vegetation, and I know when I drove up here today, I could hear her saying, make sure you take care of those berms. And, it was always great. And she knew what a hectic schedule we had as an elected official. So, as I said at the town board meeting, many a time I would come over to the house and have lunch, and she would serve me cold antipasta and the freshest spread. And I got to see Dr. Taff and hear about Tower and the family dog and how excited she was of everyone. So, as I said, one of the first topics that I discussed with her as taking office as supervisor was her opinions on the groundskeeping here. And as you see right in the center here of the park, the sculpture commissioned for this park was entitled Community, and bears the phrase of the BAPS leadership, which allowed this project to unfold. In the joy of others lies our own. And I think that really sums up what Alyssa stood for and which her civic-mindedness meant. And in June, she was here for the planting of a gift, and that was a tree donated by the BAPS Temple, and it commemorated the special partnership the town entered into with the temple to build this park and preserve this open space. And this initiative was helped created by Alyssa. So even though she has passed, her legacy will continue to obviously influence her family, her friends, her elected officials, but generations to come that visit this park. So this renaming is a well-deserved but bittersweet recognition of Alyssa's instrumental role in the formation of Sweet Hollow Park and the special partnership between the town, the temple, and the community. Look what has been accomplished today for the good of the community because the town and the temple listened, and it was Alyssa's voice that demanded their attention. So thank you to Dr. Taff and Tara and the entire family for sharing Alyssa all those years, because she spent a lot of time with the community for her many years of service on the school board to even after she left the school board and working along with all facets of our governments to really help influence and preserve it for the future. So thank you, everyone, and God bless you and the family. And now I'm going to introduce Councilman Cook.
Thank you, Supervisor, and welcome everyone to the Alyssa Sue Taff Sweet Hollow Park. This is a fabulous day for the area and for the Taff family. Alyssa Sue and I had many heated discussions. We agreed on some things and we disagreed on some things. But today is a great day for all of us. Alyssa Sue was a real leader in the community and a really great person. She wanted a bunch of things for this area, and she got them because she went out and worked her behind off. There's one thing that was missing, and she wanted some bathrooms installed. So we're going to work hard to get that done, perhaps as early as the spring of next year. Let's see what we can do. That being said, welcome all. Thank you very much. Have a great day. God bless you, and God bless this great country, America. Thank you. I'd like to invite Councilwoman Joan Sergelin to say a couple of words. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Cook. Good morning again. What a beautiful day to rename a park in honor of someone as memorable and as deserving as Alyssa Sue Taff. Over the last several weeks, much has been shared about Alyssa's many notable achievements, her legendary prowess as a civic and education leader, her devoting life as a loving wife, mother, sister, aunt, grandmother, and friend had been so well and beautifully articulated by friends and family. Their words, both at our August 6th meeting, where my town board colleagues and I officially renamed this park in Alyssa's name, and after, at her memorial service, touched me deeply. Throughout these difficult days, and even before, after having learned how sick Alyssa was, and in trying to process what it was going to mean to lose her passion and voice in this town, I took some time to reflect on my own personal connection to this remarkable force of a woman and her impact on me. I met Alyssa 23 years ago in July of 1996 when a formidable group of Huntington civic leaders and other history-minded residents gathered together to come up with a plan to save a prominent historic structure in Huntington, Oheka Castle. This was a collection of high-powered men and women coming together from all parts of Huntington in a common goal. So, of course, Alyssa was there to lend her own powers of persuasion to the task at hand, and that she did. That group later came to be known as Friends of Oheka and went on to win its battle, with Alyssa continuing to serve on its board. I learned a lot from watching those stalwarts in action that, by the way, included Dinah Foglia and Elaine Capobianco, another two powerhouses who are sadly no longer with us. I respected their moxie and the ease in which they sprung into action to ardently defend what they believed in, like a mother protects her child. It was inspiring to watch those instincts and persuasive talents take hold. Some years later, as a pastime, I launched a web-based blog where I post personal stories detailing experiences and people who have made an impact on me. One of the first people to latch onto my blog was none other than Alyssa Sue Taff. With each story I released, she was right there to cheer me on and to encourage me to write more. She posted public messages on my Facebook page telling me that my stories had touched her and that they had made her laugh out loud and sometimes even cry. Coming from the likes of the super busy and focused Alyssa Taff, her words meant the world to me. In recent months, I came to learn that Alyssa was insistent that a plaque be installed here at the park to share the story of how this all came to be. Sometime after that, I learned that Alyssa had found herself in the grips of an illness from which she would not recover. Now, when one hears this kind of news, they often find themselves at a loss for words. But in my case, I knew that words were something I could give her. I got my hands on a draft Alyssa had sketched out for the plaque. I called her to ask if I could edit it and got the enthusiastic go-ahead. I finished on a Tuesday and immediately called Alyssa. When she answered, Alyssa summoned a hearty hello and told me and I told her, "Alyssa, you sound so strong." And she responded with surprise, "I do?" And I said, "Yes, you do, Alyssa. It's who you are and who you always will be." I read aloud my words, and when they ended, Alyssa was quiet for a few seconds, and I wasn't sure what was coming next, but I was preparing myself. And then they came, the words I had hoped for and labored to hear one last time. She told me, "It's perfect. I'm so happy, and I couldn't have been more grateful for your help." And she thanked me. But, you see, it was really me, in this very small way, who was saying thank you to her. The next day, I learned that Alyssa had left us. But her mark remains in so many places and public spaces like this one, Alyssa Sue, Sweet Hollow Park. Alyssa Sue Taff, Sweet Hollow Park. Her actions, her words are forever written all over this park and elsewhere in our town. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Councilman Ed Smith.
Thank you, and thank you all for coming today. I think the presence of everybody here is a testament to Alyssa. It's a great turnout. It speaks volumes about her. I did not know her as well as most of you, and what I did know was that she didn't sugarcoat anything, whether you liked it or not. She called it as she saw it, and I think that is a great testament to her and a great legacy she could leave for all of us to follow. So thank you all for coming out today, and at this time it's my privilege to introduce our former Huntington Supervisor, Frank Petrone.
Thank you, Councilman. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to thank Councilman Mark Cuthbertson, Councilwoman Joan Circle for inviting me. This is one function I certainly would not miss. If we sum up Alyssa Sue Taft, there's one word that comes to mind, and it keeps coming back to me. It's called compassion. She had a compassion for the things that she started. She had a compassion to make sure that the fight was won. She had a compassion to work for the underdog, and she had a compassion to say it and tell it as it really was. When this park was first envisioned, we had already been through the cycle of developing the new Babs Temple, working out the details of a property transfer, and other things that came with it, including a senior housing, affordable housing program. But Alyssa had this park, and she said this will be a testament to the community, because she fought within this community. She was the person that sold the community on the fact that there should be a park. She sold the community that Babs should be somewhere in Melville and put it at a place that's much more convenient for them and convenient to the neighboring communities. She never let up on that. It was a 7 or 8 year journey to get this done. And believe me, she knocked on my door and rang my phone constantly in terms of where are we on finding a piece of property. And I see that I see Tara's nodding, and I'm sure she heard it also. And lo and behold, this property did come available. And we were able to make that transfer, the swap, and develop what we call today Alyssa Sue Taft Park. She was insistent that it would be Sweet Hollow Park. That was one of her major battles. And she had a community committee that worked with that. And you're sitting here nodding. And as a result, she wanted to be sure that the Babs were included because she knew and she had the compassion that they wanted to be part of this community, not just in it. And that was her goal, to make sure that happened. And so today, it's appropriate for us to look at this park, to rename it in her honor, along with Sweet Hollow Park, because Alyssa Sue Taft and Sweet Hollow Park are synonymous to most of us and many of us. Sweet Hollow Community and Civic Association is synonymous with Alyssa Sue Taft. And if I can give her a message today, the one message that I want to convey to Alyssa is the fact that we had many meetings, and I recall a meeting with the town attorney at that time, John Leo. And in that meeting, Alyssa constantly was battling the way she should and wanted certain things. And I'll never forget, we do come to an agreement always, but I'll never forget saying to her, Alyssa, what do you think? This is your park? And ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong. Today, it is. This is Alyssa Sue Taft's park. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. I've been advised that a representative of the BAPS, Garish Patel, is not able to be here today as a family emergency, but we do want to acknowledge the integral role of the BAPS community. There is a tree that it's been dedicated, as the supervisor noted, and without their cooperation, none of this could have happened. They own the land. If they dug in, there would be no park, but they are just a wonderful religious community, and community is so important to this, and their community, which is nearby in Melville, is still very much a part of this. I wanted to call up Dr. Patrick Harrigan, who's the superintendent of the Half Hollow Hills Central School District.
Good morning. For those who don't know, Alyssa Sue Taff served as a district trustee for Half Hollow Hills Board of Education and as board president from 2000 to 2004. And much as this park is synonymous with her achievements and her dedication to the community, in Half Hollow Hills we see much of the same at Sunquam Elementary School. She was a dedicated member of Half Hollow Hills and Sunquam. She was instrumental in the reopening and the ongoing thriving of Sunquam Elementary School. She returned often, whether it was to attend PTA meetings. She was always a presence when the Board of Education met at Sunquam, serving as a mystery reader. And the district was honored in 2011 to rename the library in the elementary school, the Alyssa Sue Taff Library. Alyssa was and always will be a Sunquam star. Most extraordinary in her involvement, from my perspective, is that much of her work at Sunquam came after her daughter Tara had passed through the halls. So her support of all the children of Half Hollow Hills calls to mind a quote that I enjoy from Harlan Miller. And it says, "Great, sincere appreciation for other people's children is one of the rarer virtues." And I think it's fitting as we sit here today that we can hear children playing, we can hear her grandson up front, but having that dedication to things that were beyond your own family, beyond your own children. Her daughter shared a story, and I haven't had a chance to meet her prior, about a time where the PTA was doing a bake sale, and there was another mom who was busy and working, and where the fact that she made cookies but made them just different enough that there was a separation between her as a mom and this other mom is really different than we see today often in parents. You know, we see so much, whether it's social media or other things, of looking for credit, but hiding from credit and making sure that another mom and another child felt good on that day. Again, sincere appreciation for other people's children is one of the rarer virtues. So on behalf of the school district, the Board of Education members who are here, members of Sunquam, administration, faculty who are here, we're thankful to her many years of committed service to our students and community. We're filled with gratitude, the kindness that she bestowed upon us and her lasting contribution to children. To her family with this honor, it's my hope that today you're filled more with pride than sadness, as this is a bittersweet occasion. So again, we offer congratulations from the Half Hollow Hills School District. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harrigan. At this point, I'd like to call up Johanna Suchow, representing the Sweet Hollow Civic Association. She is, among other things, the principal law clerk to Supreme Court Justice John Leo. Thank you, Johanna.
Thank you, Councilman Cuthbertson. I'm speaking on behalf of Civic Association of Sweet Hollow, but I look out here, and all of you are Civic Association of Sweet Hollow. I see so many faces going back to when we formed the organization, which was in 1992, and it was largely in response to the closing of Sunquam School. At that time, this park was part of Myers Farm. It was a place where people would bring their children to pick pumpkins in the fall. The tract of land was very special to our community, as it was a small remaining piece of Melville's rural character amidst the thriving, growing commercial development in our area. No one knew this more than Alyssa. Our community is grateful she did not let any of us give up on the dream of making this place a reality. Along the way, our community grew to include the Bapps, to whom we all owe our gratitude for their patience and kindness, without which this place would not be. Alyssa Sue Taff Sweet Hollow Park is and will be a place for gathering, recreating, and a symbol of what community is and what we can do together. And I ask all of you to remain strong members of our community in the future and give her spirit some continued life endurance. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Johanna. At this point, I'd ask my colleagues to join me at the podium. We are going to call up Dr. Ross Taff and Tara Levy for remarks, but as a part of that, we want to present them with a replica of the sign that will go in here, which will describe Community, the public artwork project, which was a project of the Town of Huntington Public Art Initiative. with the support from our Open Space Committee. So with that, I'd like Dr. Taff and Tara Levy to come on up.
Well, thank you all for coming. So just to give you a little history of the name, Lisa decided this was going to be called Sweet Hollow Park, and she just called it that way from the very first day, and she really just said if she kept calling it that, people would say it was Sweet Hollow Park. That was just what she did. Thank you, everybody. The two things that she was most interested in of the 100 things she did was Sunquam and the park. And, to have both with her name on is really nice.
And thank everybody for coming, and especially thank you to Supervisor Lupinacci and all of the council members, Cuthbertson, Cook, Sergel, and Smith for honoring my mom and for Alyssa Taff with this wonderful park dedication, as well as the many people who worked on this park with her if you were forced to or you wanted to. She made sure lots of people were helping, but everybody who made this park a reality, and Supervisor Frank Patron and Girish Patel and Johanna Suchow as well. This community, as you all know, is so incredibly important to my mother, and she was thrilled when Sweet Hollow Park came to fruition and the Bapps found a suitable place for their temple. It made her so happy to drive by and see people of all ages enjoying the park like they are today, including her grandson Atlas, who was always a frequent visitor to the baby swings for the past few months and will continue to be so, as well as our dog Sebastian. She was always insistent that dogs could come to the park too. My mom worked tirelessly to improve this area throughout her life, and I hope that others will be inspired by her efforts and realize that one person does really make a difference. As the board knows, she frequently checked on the park and reported any issues right away to ensure that it was in good shape for all of the local residents. I hope that others will continue her advocacy and ensure this neighborhood remains an ideal place for families to live and work. Our family is very honored that her legacy as a civic leader will live on in this beautiful space, as well as Sunquam. Thank you all again.
So you can tell who the politician in the family is. Okay.
Thank you so much, Tara and Ross. At this point, we are going to proceed with the unveiling of the sign at the entrance of the park. So if you want to join us, I know the police are going to help us with traffic on the road.
2, 1.